nothing wrong with the provocative photos that they post on social media. I did an experiment to find out what men really think of Jessica's and Tiffany's photo.
I wouldn't say skanky, but
her face is really cute, but I can't tell if the rest of it's real.
What's the first word that comes to mind?
stripper. Definitely promiscuous.
Would you ever date a girl like this?
No, I wouldn't date her, but I would have some fun with her.
Why do you think guys no longer want to get married?
Well, for one, once they are married and a woman has like any sort of opportunity or inkling to want to get divorced, she will dominate him. In divorce court, she will take all his money and she will typically take care of the kids. Obviously, that's not all the case, but you know, the majority. I think it's like, I forget what the percentage is, but the majority of divorces are initiated by women. Another thing is that modern women tend to want all of the benefits of being a traditional woman without actually being a traditional woman.
Listen, bro, send her back to wherever she came from and replace her. Find you somebody who's willing to meet your needs and wants. Life is way too short.
And with that said, gentlemen, welcome back to Marriage or Hell Nah. Yeah, I've been digging in the crates, fellas, and I got something special for you guys lined up. Now, as you start watching this video, I need you guys to do me a favor. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because all we do is break down critical information that men need to know, and you know we're going to have some fun talking about the modern woman. Now, fellas, as I go about breaking down these videos that I'm going to share with you guys, I'm going to take my time in doing this. To all my day one heads, you guys already know. But also feel free to follow me on the other social media platforms located down there in the description. So here's the deal. You know me, I'm digging in the crates trying to figure out what the hell we going to talk about. Searching all of the internet blogs, and I happen to find a wonderful topic. And you know what it has to do with? How these chicks be out here moving about as they continue to get flued out and claim that you don't deserve any cheeks. So you know what that means. We're gonna have some fun. Now, of course, we're gonna break down the actions of all of these types of women, and fellas, I got tons of examples to show you exactly how they're behaving. But also, we definitely gotta go through some things to let the fellas know why you guys should not be flying out some of these types of chicks. So sit back, enjoy the ride, because we're gonna be here for a while, but I promise you, you will be entertained and you will be educated at the end of this video about why you shouldn't be flying half of these bitches out. So fellas, I'm just going to start at the beginning. When this news started coming about of chicks talking about they wanted to get flued out, first of all, me being a mature man who's in his early 40s now, the first thing that came to my mind is, what the fuck is flued out? Meaning that the word just didn't even make any fucking sense. Pardon my French if you're new to my platform. This is the Marriage or Hell Nah family, and we do talk like gentlemen, but sometimes we got to be able to break things down and we might get a little excited. Don't take it personal. So I'm thinking to myself, what type of ghetto ass shit is this, using these types of words? Do a little further research, and what do you come to find out? This is none other than the talking points of today's female rappers. Now, shout out to all the respectable female rappers, but you already know what I'm talking about. A lot of these women promote these silly ass ideas, giving these women all types of opportunities just to be able to finesse you. So now that we got that out the way, so what these young tackheads have been doing in our community is giving these women all types of ways to finesse men and talking about we city girls. And I said to myself, I don't give a fuck what any of them are, because there ain't no way you'd be flying out any of these chicks. Now, I do understand that men have been flying women out for a long time, but not like how we're seeing it today, to where these women expect it almost. The women that guys were flying out before were not tackheads and flea bags. But see, all of today's women think that they can do this due to this strip club mentality. And fellas, as we go through these videos, I'm going to show you guys that you got to be careful when you watch some of these chicks and the type of shit they be on, because they are not what you think. Now, I know some woman's going to hear this video and she will be like, oh, you don't want to fly anybody out because you broke, you dusty, you living on an air mattress, all those other shame tactics that they use. Sit back, ladies, because I'm going to explain to you what a man who has the ability to be able to see a woman who may live in a different place, what he should do instead of flying these chicks out. So let's start here. Me, myself, I've never flown a woman out. And I'll tell you why I never did it. Most of my life, I've lived in these big metropolitan cities. And guess what? According to the numbers, a lot of you guys live in these metropolitan cities. I'm talking about Houston, Dallas, LA, San Francisco, Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, Atlanta, the fucking trash that comes into Atlanta off these fucking flights. You have no idea. And then going all the way up to New York City, Philly, wherever have you. And of course, Miami. So what I'm thinking to myself is, if I have the ability to fly to see a woman, or should I bring the woman to me? Because now you see that these chicks are flying to you and they don't want to give you no buns. They ain't trying to let you hit it. So I said to myself, you know what? How do I avoid this type of foolishness happening to me? But you know what I know? A lot of you guys out there are corporate guys like me, or let's say, for instance, you're an entrepreneur of some sort, or you're a tech guy. Why not use this strategy? If you're in corporate sales, if you're in, some type of job that allows you to go see accounts, why not come up with a solution that gives you the ability to go there for work purposes, but you're going to have a little bit of fun? So just imagine this. You get to this town, you're going to see this account, but you're going to have fun. You get there, you're working from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Then you could go meet shorty after, have a little bit of fun, and hopefully get those cheeks while you're visiting her. But no, some guys want to be able to fly these women directly to them off of the promise that you might get to hit, aka have a little bit of spicy time. Or let's use another example. You're a tech guy, because most of you guys are remote workers. Some of you have the ability to use a hybrid model at your job, so you might get a few days somewhere. So therefore, as long as you got your laptop, you could go visit somewhere and be able to have fun and experience that city, and then also be able to link up with that girl as you see fit. And I don't need to mention the fact that you definitely gonna be getting them buns. Now let's talk about the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur has a multitude of different ways that he's able to travel. He can go into other environments for business. So you guys have the ability to travel anywhere you want to be able to travel to, just in order to make sure you clap them cheeks, get them buns, aka have spicy time with her before you fly her out to you, and then she be looking at you crazy, talking about you expect me to give you these cheeks. Presentation. So now that you guys got an understanding of what we will be talking about, I'm going to show you exactly how these women be viewing you out here when you do these type of activities. Let's get it.
City girl. You know how this shit go. I got corny. Man, boo. Tomato, tomato, tomato. I'm throwing tomatoes.
Are you kidding me?
Stormy? You look like mommy, baby.
Therese, like, what have you got yourself into? Like, what is this? What are you doing here? Like, all for a free holiday, are you okay? The video is very relevant right now. Using your femininity, using your looks, being a girl and getting things. That's what I was doing 2-3 years ago. Yes, I'm still getting flown out B, don't get me wrong. Like, jokes aside, as much as this video is going to be funny and it's going to be like kind of entertaining, I also want to be informative to girls, because obviously, like, girls, you can finesse, you can do whatever, live your life, but you don't have to free it up. That's not.
Now, some of you may be confused about what the hell she's talking about. This is a young lady, and this may be a good time to add the disclaimer. Let's just start there. This channel doesn't promote hate or harm of any kind. The only thing we are doing is being able to look at these videos, break them down to help people gain some informational insight. And yes, we might have a little bit of fun. But gents, let me be clear. Please don't go over to these people's channels, pages, any of that type of stuff, because that's not what we do on this channel. We just here to learn some information and, of course, make fun of her ass. So this is the first thing. Here we got a woman talking about that she been out here finessing guys. And just because you flew her out don't mean she gonna give you any chance to hit that pussy. Sorry to be so graphic. If you're a lady watching this, I try my best to use subliminal language, but sometimes I just gotta be direct, because she is out here saying she ain't gonna free it up for you, but she is gonna teach other women how to finesse you. And what are we looking at right about now? What's going on out here? You got chicks doing the exact same thing that this lady is talking about. So fair use on this content, but I had to get that out the way because we are not here to cause any harm or damage. We are just here to listen to what the hell she got to say. But notice how none of these women take any accountability for their actions.
Something that you need to do, because it's not consent, baby girl. Same way, boys, baby boys, I'm talking to you. Just because you're giving, that's not consent for the girl to be like, what? Yeah, let's do bits. Like, no, honey. And I'm not saying that I'm some big time finesser. No, that's not me. But, you know.
So she's saying that she's not some big time finesser. Ha 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 ha. But that's exactly who she is. And that's exactly what a lot of these women are out here doing, fellas. I just want you guys to get an idea of what these women are doing and how they perceive you to be when you do these things. Foolish.
Sometimes you gotta do a little for the girl them. You just gotta live your life. You've got to be free. You've got to do the YOLO. Yeah, girls, live your life. Get your holidays, yeah, get that suntan, get that massage in the spa, get that sauna room, get that steam room, get that swimming pool, get those Instagram pictures, girls, and live your goddamn life, because honey, we're only getting older.
And some of you wonder why you can't find a decent wife within certain communities. And as you can see, it don't matter if you're on this side of the pond or on that side of the pond. But you know what's going to happen to a lot of these chicks? Very, very swiftly. And we already seeing it happen, because this mentality right here, have your ass crash right into that damn wall. But now that you got a picture of what you're dealing with, let's get on with the show. Now, I want to take this brief intermission to be able to correct some simp sorry ass sucker who's going to come up in here talking that old bullshit. What do I mean about that? You going to have one of these moist guys coming out saying, that's the reason why I tell women to have their own things, to get your own, baby girl, focus on you, get a bag. You don't need no man. You can do it by yourself. What you should be doing, baby girl, is thinking about yourself. You could do whatever, but I'm going to tell you to have your own. Hold that thought.
All right, so I'm going to tell you how to get flued out. Everything starts with you. How are you treating yourself? So when somebody approaches me and they want to date me, they already know how they have to come, because they already see that I'm already taking myself on trips. I already live a certain kind of lifestyle. I treat myself good. I treat myself well. So they know that, damn, I can't treat her nothing less than what she already treating herself. I have to treat her good how she treats herself, or I got to treat her better. Like if you present yourself that you don't, oh, I don't ask for much. I don't want much. So if you don't ask for much and you don't want much, guess what you're getting? You ain't getting much. You know what I mean? So literally it all starts with you. I think the internet has everybody jacked up and they think like, oh, I gotta have this perfect body. They get flued out. No tea, no shade to the girls with the BBLs and stuff, but you really don't even need that to get flued out.
So, Mr. Oldhead, what you will come to find out as I keep going through these videos is that these skanky ass tackheads have their own money. They have their own things, but they still don't want to accept accountability for getting on a damn flight, going somewhere to see some guy that they ain't never met before, acting like nothing can happen to them in the world. So you guys keep coming up here talking about, oh, you know, she need to have her own. The bitch got her own and she's still making bad decisions. And I'm not even trying to be critical there. So fellas, keep in mind, whether it's the broke one or the strong independent type, all of them want to finesse you. That's all that they want to do, because there's no accountability. A lot of these women, they can fly themselves out to these places, go link up with a guy. If they don't like that guy, whatever, get back on a plane, go see one of their homegirls in the same city, and then go out there and live their life and then go back home. If they really wanted to kick it that way and they wasn't trying to get over on guys, that's what they would do. But they're not doing that. What are they doing? Roll the footage, please.
So you guys, to kick it off, I met this guy on a freaking dating app. Yes, a dating app. Some things that you all should know. I've never met the man. We had no mutual friends. I knew he was a human being because we did FaceTime and we did like text and we did talk on the phone. But one day we were having a conversation about where we were going in the future, like what were our upcoming trips. And my upcoming trip was to DC. It wasn't even an international flight. It was a domestic flight. And so
now, fair use on this content, but just so you have a little bit of context into who this lady is, you will find out that she makes her own money, she has a job, and you see that hat she's rocking? She happened to introduce herself as a Southern belle, a lady, classy at that. But as we go along in this video, you're going to find out not too much is classy about this woman in her actions, because she's spoiled, she's entitled, just like so many women are. But of course, the marriageorhellnah family, we not going for none of that shit, because we know all too well that she is full of shit. Now I ask you fellas, Does this woman look like a woman you would take to Eastlake if you had the opportunity? Would you take this lady to, let's go, the Kentucky Derby? I don't think so. And if you local here in Atlanta, which Atlanta will be happening to come up a lot in this video, I don't know what the fuck is going on in this city. Pardon me for getting excited. It's just, I don't know what's going on in this city. This city used to not be like this. But point being is I would even take her ass to Rays on the River on Sunday for brunch. But you continue to fly her out and treat her nicely, but she's going to let you know she thinks she's a lady. But by the end of this video, you'll know she's not who she claims she is.
My upcoming flight was to DC. I was going to be flying out there after I did my, got a couple of things squared away with my house. This was actually the beginning of the process of my house. So, yeah, I was like, so yeah, I'm going to be heading to DC. And he was like, oh, cool. Well, I'll book your flight for you. What, you said what? So he was like, okay, yeah, I'll book your flight for you. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like, I'm not asking you to book my flight, but if you want to, you definitely can.
Oh, you see that shit right there? You see that shit right there? That shit right there. They try to act like, so she said, remember, hold on, let's go back a little bit. She knew he was real because she had talked with him, you know, they video chatted or whatever. Do you think that they were talking platonically the whole damn time? No, they were not. But she wants us to believe that in this particular moment, after they had been video chatting, after they had been talking, that this man did not have to do this. He did this of her. He did this of his own accord. But she knows deep down that that man is attracted to her. And this is the type of shit that they will do.
I sent him, you know, all you need is first name, last name, date of birth. I sent that information, and within like 5 minutes, he sent me my flight confirmation for the flights that I told him to book, the going and coming back, right? So this was round trip flight.
What you younger fellas are learning, if you want to go down this path, look, I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't fly a chick out because I happen to know where these tackheads like to congregate, and they all like to congregate in cities that we already live in. But you see that part right there, buying round trip tickets, why would you do that? If she wanted to, she can buy her own damn round trip ticket, but she's not going to do that. She wants to make sure she secures your money.
And so I'm like, oh, cool. Well, this is kind of weird. You booked my flight and we've never met. Okay. So, yeah. So we continued to converse and conversate and talk all that good crap or whatnot.
Lady.
So one day, about, I think like 2 weeks later, he was like, you know, what are you looking for? Are you looking for something serious? And I'm like, no, not right now. I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm typically just going with the flow just to see where things will go.
You see that? So here you got a woman who's a Southern belle, a lady, a working class woman. She got her own, right? But what is she out here telling us? That, oh, you know, we never met in person, technicalities and shit, because she been video chatting, talking with this guy. What self-respecting lady would sit up here and accept a flight from a man that she has never met before, let alone even interested in? That's not the way ladies behave. But these finessers, aka these users out here who have their own money, choose to finesse guys. So what happened next? 2 weeks after she's complaining that, you know, why is this guy finding me out? We ain't never met before. But okay. So This guy decides to say, you know, where are we going with this? She comes up here, aka Miss Woman with No Plan. She's out here talking about she's just going with the flow, aka these 10-piece and these 20-piece bitches. What do I mean by that? These women got no plan. They out here, aka winging it.
Y'all, so I guess he was looking for something serious. And so he kind of started acting like weird. And I didn't hear from him for like 3 days. I'm like, I text him, I'm like, hey, what's up? What's good? You know, how are you? I haven't talked to you in like a couple of days. And he was like, yeah, I'm good. But I just feel like we're on different pages and I'm looking for something serious and this and that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I feel what you're saying. I feel where you're coming from, and I don't want to lead you on. So if you feel like you want to take, you know, you don't want to pay for my flight anymore, that's cool. Just go ahead and let me know, and I'll go ahead and book my own flight, because I know people are spiteful and they do stuff like that. Like they try to hold stuff over your head. Like I didn't ask you to book my flight.
But she didn't turn him down either. They try to act so innocent. I didn't ask you to do that. You know, nobody put you in that situation. You just did it anyway, right? Dangling that carrot out there, giving you the possibility, acting all innocent. But watch as we go along what happens to her. Now, as you fellas know by now, these chicks ain't gonna never be able to get over on us, because I'm going to find the footage.
Did this on your own. I didn't come out and say, can you book my flight? I've never done that. I never will. Pause. Let me stop that, because I just probably, you can never say never, because half the time the stuff you say never to will always be stuff that you will do.
That's the only thing she said
Regardless,
true.
I've never had this situation or this problem when it came down to getting my flights booked. Never, like I've never had.
So what does that right there let you know? She's been doing this for a while. All of these women have. They've been out here getting flued out for 5 years, 6 years. Guess how many bodies they done racked up? But they got the nerve to fly there, talk to you, and then act like, you know, I've been doing this for 6 years. I met well over 200 guys, or I met well over 100 guys, hung out with them, and, you know, maybe I gave half of them a little bit of spicy time. But for you, you know, you flew me out here, but you don't deserve no cheeks, acting like they don't do this. They do this. So all of you type of guys out there with your weak selves that want to be caping and talking about, you know, I want women to have their own. You know, I want women to be respected. They have the ability to be respected anytime that they want, but they choose to act like this.
To go through this. Typically, when, you know, if someone were to be paying for my flight, I don't have to go through this. Period. I've never had to go through this. So, where was I? Do you guys know? Like, I'm like, okay, yes, you can refund me. He was like, no, you can keep the flight. It was my gift to you. You can keep it, whatnot. So I'm like, let me try to be smarter than him. I called the airline of who I was flying with, and I'm like, can you change his phone number on file, and can you put my phone number on file instead? And she was like, yeah, we'll go ahead and update that now. And so I updated that, thinking that I'm being smarter than him, because I'm like, I have a feeling that this man might cancel my flight, but I'm believing his word of mouth by him saying, okay, well, I'm not going to cancel your flight.
So that's another instance right then and there where she's trying to play some little game and trying to trick him and outmaneuver him, thinking that she's smart. But she had the ability to say, you know what? I respect that man's decision. That man is attracted to me. He's hoping that if I get there, he's going to try to get with me. He's going to try to take me out for dinner. He's going to try to woo me into some way, proving that he's a good man for me, and maybe I ought to give him some of this action while I'm in town. She knows that that's going to happen. But she could have said in that particular moment, you know what, let me not even go down this path. Let that man know I'm not interested and not send mixed signals. Even if the man said, you know what, just keep the ticket, baby girl, it's all good. She know damn well that that shit ain't right. And this woman is a woman of means. So therefore, she could just pay for the ticket herself, but no accountability because it's like kryptonite. But no accountability because it's like kryptonite to them. But over here, we gonna point that bullshit out.
You guys, life was crazy. After that conversation, I hadn't talked to the man. So 2 months later, now it's a day before I'm supposed to leave for DC. So I'm like, I have not got a flight check-in yet. What is going on? Let me call them to see what in the world is going on. Why haven't I received a flight check-in? Y'all, I called him like, hey, I'm calling because I need to check on reservation CFV 503. And she's like, hold for 1 second, please. Please. So, no, that's my dog, you guys. So, I'm waiting. I'm like, something is going on. This man done canceled my flight. And I'm thinking to the back of my head that, but I'm like, I don't think he did that. And she's like, your flight information cannot be found. I'm so sorry. What was that? You said what? And my flight was canceled. I'm like, so when was it canceled? And she was like, well, it was just recently canceled. Like same day.
Goofy. Absolute goofy. Now, I know some of these women are going to come in here watching this video and go to themselves, this guy's so harsh. I'll clean it up at the end, ladies. But my point is that I respect women. I don't respect thotties, shysters. These types of women are fucking awful because they know what they're doing. And I'm pointing out to you, caping simp, white knighting, moist type of dudes who be talking about you gonna go out here and preach to these women that they gonna do better and they should do better and get their own bag. I'm telling you, these women got their own bag, but they choose to be finessers. So here you have it, that she thought she was going to outsmart this dude. And fellas, isn't that so funny? They always think that they're smarter than us, but they never are. But notice how she talked about it had been 2 months that she hadn't even talked to this man. But here comes the day before she's about to fly out. So she had 60 days to be the independent boss chick, to do what she needed to do to be able to fly herself and take care of her own shit. But she chose not to do it.
Literally, y'all, the same day that I called to check in, he had canceled my flight. And keep in mind, this is the day before I'm supposed to leave to DC. And I'm like, I just laughed. I'm like, oh, okay. So, long story short, you guys. I'm sitting here. It's Memorial Day weekend. Flights are already through the roof. If you know me, you know I hate booking last minute flights. I'm like, okay, cool. So I text him and I was not sparing this man like at all. I'm like, you really canceled my flight, you this, you that, like you dead wrong, but like.
Now she gonna call this man dead wrong for canceling the damn flight, right? She ain't spoke to this man in 2 months. Ain't spoke to this man in 2 months. I don't give a damn what the man told her. Now she's gonna wait to get to the day before she's supposed to fly out to sit up here and call or text this man and be telling him he probably ain't shit. That's exactly what she's saying. You ain't shit. You a little dick motherfucker. She's probably saying all types of just nasty, spiteful things. But she expected that man to still pay for her ticket, knowing that that man was interested in her. But this is what they do. Wait till you find out where they do it at.
Like, who does that? I asked you. I didn't do all that, but I did text him something mean.
She a liar.
Well, I wasn't done with
Exactly.
it, and then I left it at that. But y'all understand? Because I'm like, so I'm sitting at work, and my coworkers are laughing at me.
At what? At what? At work. She got her own damn money.
They is clowning. They is clowning because I'm like, this man just canceled my flight. I'm supposed to be leaving tomorrow. Everybody's ready to go, checked in, and here I am without a flight. Y'all. So I'm looking at flights. Please tell me why one-way flights from Atlanta to DC are $400+.
Atlanta to DC. Oh, what a fucking coinky dink. So now you guys know why I am not the type to fly a woman out. Because these scallywags, scoundrels, tech heads are gonna be in this city anyway. That's why I keep saying, what the hell is going on in Atlanta? Before, or maybe I just didn't know all of this shit was going on before, but I just cannot believe what the hell is going on in this city. And shout out to the brother BGS Itmore. This was the first time I came across this man's content, which was yesterday. And he was talking about Atlanta was a trick city. And I was like, huh? Then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, it's gotta be. Just doing my own damn due diligence and research, so much foolishness comes back to the city of Atlanta. And if you guys live in Atlanta, you're not even shocked by this shit because you know that's the way these women behave. And you wonder why you can't find a wife in the city of Atlanta. Ain't that some shit? Well, let's just be honest. They doing this shit everywhere. And you wonder why you're having a hard time finding a wife? Because what you will find out doing your research is wives don't live in these cities. AKA, I'm moving. Can't stand y'all motherfuckers anyway. Or shit, I'm just gonna keep dating outside my race. So I got my options up. I think you guys need to have your options up as well. But that's a story for another day.
$400+, y'all. And I'm like, I'm feeling sick because I'm like, I really want to go and I really want to hang with my friends. I want to live my best life in DC.
So she wasn't even thinking about this man. You know, she's already said that they got disconnected 2 months ago. But now we come to find out that the independent woman, who's a working woman, right? Who's tripping about $400, that she has the money to spend on herself to be able to go do what? Kick it in DC with her friends. Not even thinking about that man at all, but still willing for that man to pay for her to go to DC. You can't make this shit up, people. Now, young lady, I'm going to move off from you, but, you know, it's a shame. I don't think that you're a Southern lady or a Southern belle, but you're not bad looking. And it's a shame that you have this attitude because you are somewhat attractive. But once you start talking to these chicks, it's funny how them numbers just start to go down. So let's talk about it, homie. What have you learned so far throughout this video? That these chicks out here straight trying to finesse you, out here having you do things to them, and they expect to give up no cheeks. But it's not just only the hood rat chick, you know, the city girl, the girl who's out here moving fast in the street. You just learned that it's the corporate woman as well. Now, fellas, as we get ready for the feature presentation, I'm going to take my time. I want to be able to tell you guys a little bit of my own personal experience on this matter. It's kind of like that Benny the Butcher type of stuff that you might have heard on Joe Pesci 38. You kind of know what dudes been through in these streets when they get that specific. So I got to be able to share with you guys my own personal experience to let you guys know exactly who I am. Now, in this feature presentation, fellas, you better listen up. And the reason why is I'm going to tell you exactly what these chicks are out here trying to do and who they think you are. They think your name is Bobby Blue Balls, and I'm not that guy. Let's get it. Now, most of you guys already know what Blue Balls is, right? But let me tell you a little bit about my own personal experience. So if you've been listening to my content, you kind of get a sense of who I am and where I'm from. But if you're new to the channel and you just happen to be listening to this video for the first time, pardon me, bear with me. I'm going to get to the feature presentation, but I'd like to take my time to let you guys know real deal shit. So my parents are Southern people. They decided to have a child up north in the state of New York City to be specific. But every summer, you know what would happen is that my parents often wanted me to go down south, right? Because they wanted to make sure I was connected with my family. See, in New York, you're not really gonna get that many families where the bloodline is strong. You might get a, plague cousin, a god family, things of that nature. But some people have family in New York, but a lot of people, especially if you're Black, you may be in New York, but a lot of your family members are down south. And my parents always wanted to make sure I was deeply connected. So we used to go down south in the summer, right? And that's when I learned about certain things. The brothers down south, the way that they operate is always fresh and clean, meaning that they know how to use their hands at young ages. They get appreciation for real life things, as opposed to like a New Yorker. For instance, like my parents try to make sure that I have responsibilities. They told me how to drive at an early age, talking like 14, 15, moving around the city. My father used to always go, "You need some kind of responsibility." And I'd be like, "What? What are you talking about? I'm about to go outside and play basketball, go to the boys club, go out there, hang out with my friends." But I was still like a good student, right? But he used to say, no, you need to go to Con Ed and pay the bill. Or you need to go over there to Tom Warner and pay the bill. He would just give me responsibility. Now, the brothers down south, they already know what I'm talking about. So here's the deal. I'll end up flying down south one time and I'm going to see my cousins and, some real family members. I got grandparents, I got aunts and uncles deep down south, right? So I get down there and my god brother used to have this really nice car, at the time. And a lot of you Southern brothers, you really appreciate this. So my god brother, he had this really nice car. I mean, it's definitely like a Southern type of car. So some of you OGs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that Delta 88. I'm talking about that Caprice. I'm talking about them Cadillacs. I'm talking about them Regals. Now, as you come into money, you might buy something like a foreign vehicle, but a lot of these brothers kind of started out with a lot of those cars that I just named. So he had this 88 Delta 88. That's exactly what it was. It was navy blue. And he had just picked it up from the shop because it had clean white leather seats. Now, I had been exposed to certain cars, but I just saw it was fresh when we pulled up to the house. And I was like, man, look, you got nice white leather seats on this thing. This thing is shiny, but in New York, we ain't never seen no cars like this because people don't drive them type of cars, right? So next thing you know, I'm sitting in the car and he's like, yeah, you like them leather seats? I ain't got that itch. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about, itch? But, a lot of the cars, they had like that cloth material. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I get hungry, right? And there's probably like 4 cars that are sitting up there in the driveway. But you know what car I wanted to drive. So I'm young. I'm probably like 16, 17, something like that. And I'm like, yeah, bro, let me drive your car. And, he's my god brother. So he was like, yo, you cool. You can go drive the car. So you know what car I wanted to drive. I definitely wanted to drive my god brother's car. So he looked at me and he had seen me drive before in the past, but he was like, you sure your New York ass know how to drive these cars? Because, that's really like a big body style car, right? I was like, hey, come on, I'm a G, bro. I know how to do things. Leave me alone, bro. I'm hungry. Let me go get some food out this motherfucker. He like, all right, cool, cool, cool. You know, he looked out for me. I'm young, but he give me the keys. Then he hands me the radio. Now, at this time, the radios were different in these cars. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. Remember those, face-like radios? I'm talking about the Pioneers of the world. I'm talking about the Kenmores, the JVC radios, the one where you have to put the face and attach it onto the radio, right? So he gives me the radio. He's like, hey, this is the radio for the car. I had never seen that shit before a day of my life. But he's like, yo, you know how to work it? I'm like, of course, man. I'm a able-bodied person. I can figure this shit out. Full of confidence, right? But don't know shit. Next thing you know, I get in the car, I crank it up, I put the face on the radio, and I hit power on that shit. Next thing you know, that shit shaking everywhere. I'm talking about car going crazy. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Because I ain't never really experienced anything like that. Like I said, in New York, dudes just wasn't doing that trunk rattling everything. He got about, I think, 212s in the back or some shit like that. Amps, you guys know much more about this stuff than me. So I had to go eat. Plus, I'm in a small town, right? You only got a few options. You got McDonald's, you got Rallies, you got Wendy's, shit like that. So he lets me have a car. I'm just driving that shit. And guess what I got put on to? And it was none other than our departed brother, Mr. Pimp C, Sweet Jones. Now I'm in that car and I'm riding. I got the fucking stereo going crazy. I pull up, I think to Popeyes, got some food. I'm on my way back. I had to stop at the store. I pull into I think it might have been a Shell or a BP, but down south, the gas stations can kind of be like meetup spots damn near, because everybody who lives in the community, they just gonna go to that gas station right there. So you kind of see everybody, but I'm bumping that shit. I'm feeling good. And what does Pimp C say? Something that stuck with me the whole time. And this right here is the moral of the story. As we get ready to watch these next videos, I'm going to tell you why these men are freaking out. Because these men who happen to fly these women out, and they link up with these women and they done all of this and all of that, trying to make her feel good when she land, and she still ain't giving them no cheeks. You want to know why them guys be freaking out? Because in that moment, they realize they are a bunch of rest havens. Now, some of you guys don't know what a rest haven is, but Pimp C said it on that song when I put onto the gas station. He was like, you a rest haven ninja waiting up for some booty at night. I said, what? Repeat that. I had that shit on repeat all the way back to the house. Talking about you a rest haven ninja up here waiting up for some booty at night. I said, ain't no way in hell. And these gentlemen who are freaking out, they just realized that you see that dial, they looked at the time. And they realized that they've been up here rest haven for 24 hours sometimes. And you know what that shit'll do? Mr. Bobby Blue Balls, that should have put you in a bunch of pain. So I'm riding all the way back to the house. And now my cousin that came over there. And my cousin, he the same age as me, right? So I pull into the driveway, park the car. I got my food. I give my god brother the radio, detach it and everything. I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I drove off, but I figured it out, Gave him back the radio. He went in the house and he was like, man, you bumping that shit right there. And I was like, yeah, I got to do what I got to do, I got game too. I'm figuring this shit out. So he goes in the house, and then I look over at my cousin. He was like, what you doing playing that shit? You don't know nothing about that shit with your New York ass, Southern cousin, same age. They always talking shit, right? So I was like, man, why you always doubting me, acting like I don't get more bitches than you? At the time, he was definitely getting more bitches than me, but I was still doing good. You know, it's my cousin, you know. Same age, we just do what we got to do. I looked up at him and I said, cuz, what's a rest haven? You know what he said? That's when that bitch up there trying to make you sit up there and wait to get that pussy, knowing damn well she want to fuck. And I said, what? Because, you know, dudes was talking straight direct. I thought, you know, he could have said that in a more subliminal manner, but he's like, man, fuck that bitch. You know, some bitch pulling games on you like that, man. We up and outy. This is a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old at the time, but I knew what it was going forward. Now that you understand what we will be talking about, let's get to the feature presentation. Now, I understand some morons just going to be happening to watch this video and they're going to say, oh man, that's bullshit. Women don't be doing any of that. See, this is a skit. This is a skit. This shit ain't real. Relax, homie, because I've already shown you in the previous clips that these women be doing this. But just in case you still got reservations, just keep watching the video as we go along. But for the sake of this particular argument and how I learned not to be a rest haven, we gonna break this fucking skit down. Now, truth be told, I do think that this is a skit. I happen to research this young lady, and what I found out is that this young lady apparently does these types of skits, but she does nasty ass type of skits at that. Then you're like saying to yourself, what is he talking about, this nasty stuff? This is why, you know, on this channel, you get accurate information because I do the research. What this woman has been out here doing is she does nasty ass videos in the gym. She goes to the gym and, you know, those videos that manosphere creators like to, you know, examine and break down about girls in the gym, how they be posing on TikTok and they be up there acting like they don't want dudes to do all of this. That's exactly what this woman does. But let's not shade this woman. That's not what we're here to do. Please don't go over to these people's channels or anything like that to make fun of them, because you bring a lot of unwanted attention back to this channel. So please do not do that. We are here just to break this story down. What exactly happened in this particular video. But you know what else this lady does? This lady is up here taking these, you know, skits or things in the gym. But have you ever noticed that these girls don't go to gyms like private gyms where they be like 20 people? A lot of these girls, they go to gyms like LA Fitness, Planet Fitness, gyms that are, you know, like regular gyms, but they have like 200, 300, 1,000 people popping through the gym all day. So you got to imagine if you're at the damn gym and you see these types of people sitting up here taking videos and TikToks of themselves, you got to be saying, what type of person does that shit at the gym? These types of people. Let's get it.
I mean, come on, we been FaceTiming every day.
I don't give a fuck. No, we been FaceTiming every day. And you really taking me all the way back to the fucking airport? You really taking me back to the airport? You on the phone? Yes, you going to the fucking airport. Yes, you going. And you taking me back to the airport because of.
Now you see what she tried to do right there? Like I said, we are going to break this fucking skit down because there are so many talking points and I am so excited to bring them to you. So you see that first thing right there, what she tried to do? You see these women, they always try to finesse you. They think that you're stupid, like you're not smarter than them. What she said is, you taking me back to the airport? You taking me back to the airport? Why? Why? Tell them why you taking me back to the airport. Now, you could choose to say, because you're not giving up any of them cheeks. Not a good idea in the real world. But this is what I would tell you, or this is what I would say rather. I would say, you know damn well why I'm taking you back to the airport. What does that do? That clears me of saying anything. She's going to try to act up after that and be like, well, because I ain't giving you no pussy, as I ain't giving you no coochie. Be like, well, I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say that at all. So why are you taking me back to the airport then? Let the people know. You already know why I'm taking you back to the airport. When you say shit like that, it drives them even crazier because it shows them that you don't fall for their nonsense. But let's keep going.
Because of what? Tell me
You
why.
didn't give me no cheeks.
Nigga, I'm not fucking obligated to give you no. What?
I flew you out.
Nigga, what are you talking about? Nigga, you're lame as fuck. No, you're lame as fuck. No, you're.
So notice this in this video. This brother's already living in LA. A lot of you guys, even though we're reacting to this and we're putting ourselves in the shoes of this being real, it goes to show you. I showed you another video about girls in Atlanta, girls in fucking London. I've shown you now girls who want to go to LA. Half of you guys already live in these places. These bitches are gonna do their damnedest to come see you anyway. They are willing to pay to be in these bigger cities. But if you give them the option to be flown there and use you, that's exactly what these bitches will do. But then they're going to look at you and tell you that you ain't shit. You're crazy.
Fucking lame. You're lame. Just take me to the fucking airport. Just get me there. Just get me there.
Walk around my crib, titties out, and stuff like that, taking showers in my shower.
Nigga, it's my body. What you talking about?
I don't care.
I don't have to give you my coochie. Are you okay? No. I don't have to give you my coochie.
Laying in my bed? No. You don't care.
I don't have to give you my coochie. Are you okay?
No.
My body. What you talking about?
I don't care.
I don't have to give you my coochie.
This is the best fucking part of the video. Now look. I always keep it 100% honest with you guys, and that's what I'm about to do here. You see this fucking shit right here, this facial expression or this posture that she has right now, right? Only black women do this type of shit. Now, it's fucked up. Don't get me wrong, because I know some serious brothers going to go, these bitches ghetto and we don't need to fucking, think shit like this is funny. But I'm going to tell you why shit like this is funny. I got to be honest with you, man. As a black man whose first ever girlfriend was Puerto Rican, I don't have to put up with a lot of shit that goes on in the black community because I've always had options around me, even though I've always been black. So what that means is that yes, I got a black son's mother. Yes, my longest relationship was a black woman. But I like dating other women because of shit like this. Because I say to myself, oh my God, these bitches are so ghetto. But the one thing that I do miss and the one thing that I'm reacclimating myself to is if I want to deal with a black woman, shit like this is funny. Because white women don't do shit like this. You only get shit like this when you deal with black women. Now, like I said, don't take it serious. Like I said, don't take this seriously. But this is something that you miss when you don't date black women for a long time because you refuse to put up with their bullshit, whatever have you. But these things are kind of funny. Like, look at her. She looked like she's either having a fucking heart attack or all of a sudden her lashes started weighing 15 pounds a piece. Like, no other group of women does that type of shit. But let's carry on. I think that shit is so funny. We got to rewind that shit. Like, look at it. She's going to look fucking crazy.
Nigga, it's my body. What you talking about?
I don't care.
I don't have to give you my coochie. Are you okay?
No.
I don't have to give you my coochie.
Laying in my bed? No. You want to get dropped off at the airport.
Oh, I don't even know why the fuck I came here.
She didn't want to give me no cheeks.
Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Stop recording me.
She didn't want to give me no cheeks.
Stop recording me, nigga.
Don't fly her out.
Give me the phone.
Watch out. Don't take my phone.
Stop recording me.
No. Don't fly her out. Look, don't fly her out.
Bro,
She ain't trying to call up no cheeks. I've been FaceTiming her.
This is my...
So what has she been doing? What have we learned so far? If this was real, hypothetically, right? That this chick came from wherever the fuck she came from, decided to come to LA, right? This man had already been chatting with her, whether it be through texting, talking on the phone, video chat. Something was going on between these two. Men do not fly women out to be casually cool with them. Women get flown out for these dudes to be able to show their level of attraction to these women and possibly being able to fuck. It is her body, no doubt about that. I would never say anything different. It is her body, but the way she's using her body against this man is absolute sex as a weapon bullshit. And that's something we need to talk about. So, for instance, she's been messaging with this guy, doing all this other stuff. You think she was out there like, oh, yeah, I want to come out to LA and be friends and we're just going to hang out? Fuck no. She was saying whatever she needed to say to get that guy to fly her out. And that guy even said, you was at my place. You took a shower. You sleeping in my bed? No, 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 no. So let's take a peek at what possibly, more than likely, happened. So imagine this. You fly a woman to LA, she lands at LAX, right? Once she lands at LAX, you can live anywhere in Los Angeles County. You can live in Orange County. I'm not familiar enough with the area, so if I mess certain things up, please don't hold it against me. I've only been out there twice, but I don't really remember LA like that. I've only flown into John Wayne. So imagine she lands at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? You know, with that fucking LA traffic, it's going to take him an hour and a half to 2 hours to get somewhere, right? She landed at 3. They get to wherever side of town that they need to go. He's probably trying to be a gentleman to her, like most of you guys would be. You would say, you know, baby girl, you want to get some food? You just landed. You know, maybe even want to, you know, bust a block or two. You know, waste a little bit of gas, showing her around, let her see LA, or get some food or some drinks, whatever have you. She gets back to the crib. You know, you say to yourself, it's probably like 9 o'clock. You walk her through the door. You're like, yo, this is where I live. You know, come in, make yourself comfortable. Mi casa es su casa. So she walking around your place. She probably like, oh, you know, you living good or you doing all right, whatever have you. Maybe y'all listen to some music, but then all of a sudden, it comes time to watch a movie. No matter how we got there, it could be a movie, television show. My phone going off, trying to mess my flow up. It ain't gonna happen, player. So the entertainment's playing, and maybe y'all just start sitting on the couch in the living room, right? So as you're doing all of this woman is sitting right here watching this movie with you, having entertainment with you. But you got to ask yourself, did she give you first base action? Did she give you second base action? What do I mean by that? You know, let's get a little bit of baseball up in here. You know, usually when you hit a single, it's light contact. So when it comes to dealing with a woman, this could be like in a little bit of light contact. This could be like in the peck, you know. You ain't really touching her like that. You know, it's early stages, just kissing and shit like that, but it ain't really speaking French, you know. Like speaking French is more second base action, at least in my book, right? So now you get into second base, right? Or did you get like a double? You standing on second base? She then gave you a little bit of lip action, you know, it's getting nasty down there, tongues moving, you know, y'all speaking French and shit, but you kind of holding her a little tighter at this point. You ain't went south of the border, you ain't done nothing like that yet, so you standing on second base. So you already on the couch with her. If none of those things have happened, why the fuck are you letting her sleep in the bed? You do not ever take a woman in your bed that you never made it to first base with or second base. That's like sitting up there, you know, you in the dugout, you about to get on to the batter up area, but you ain't made contact at all. But you gonna let her sleep in your bed? That's not the way we work. More than likely, what happened is that she got there, she was making herself comfortable, she was dangling that carrot in front of you, she was sitting up there having a good time, and you was up here talking about, oh, mi casa is su casa, you just happy to have her in town at your spot and shit. She going in there, taking a shower, going into your fucking bed, and you know, at that point, Especially if you ain't hit it, you ain't got no motherfucking contact, no motherfucking action, and you know damn well you not gonna get no pussy. You gonna be in there trying to pull movie moves. Now, some of you guys may not know what movie moves are, but imagine you being at the theater, you going to see a movie with a girl, and then all of a sudden, you know, you ain't really had no contact with her, but you try to stretch your arm out just so you could touch her, act like it's cold, so you could put your arm around her, make some kind of contact. But if she's laying in your bed and you ain't made no contact later at night, you know your ass up there 3-4 o'clock in the morning trying to pull movie moves on her, try to fucking spoon cuddle, whatever the fuck you can do just to make contact. But she ain't gave you no action at all, right? So what would make a man get to a point to where he's ready to take her back and drop her off at the airport? That man woke up and realized that he had blue balls all motherfucking night long and he's a rest haven. But me, I ain't no motherfucking rest haven. Never have been, never will be. Because I was taught by the greats.
Chicks, nigga, this my ass and my coochie. What are you talking about?
For 2 months.
I don't have to give you, nigga.
2 months.
Just get me there. I don't care. I don't care, nigga. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care about none of that shit.
Meet out on FaceTime. She been flirting and stuff. You want a free trip? You
You wanted to whip your wiener out, nigga. I ain't asked you to put it in the fucking camera.
Okay, I'm about to whip over here and drop your ass up.
Just get me there. I don't even know why the fuck I came here. I don't even know why I came here.
You came either.
You're a lame ass nigga.
Now, as a black man, these are not the type of women that I put up with. That's the reason why some of you are dating outside your race, because you see a lot of these type of women with these type of actions. And I'm going to get into that in a second. But the one thing you notice about these type of women is that they use that N word so loosely. I ain't messing with no chick that uses that word that loosely, especially black women, because they know what it means. But look at the way that they say it. I ain't messing with no N word, but they say it so aggressively. She's probably said it 12 times to this point. But that's how far these women have fallen. They're users, abusers, got no respect for you, don't even know what the fuck the words are that they're using and how it degrades not only you, but it degrades them.
You're a lame ass nigga. You a lame ass nigga.
Shouldn't even came. You like that shit. You shouldn't even came. You should have said.
You can't get no coochie.
What?
You put me out here to get coochie?
Yes, I did.
What the fuck could any woman be thinking? If a man is flying you anywhere, is he not trying to get coochie? But see, that's the way these women look at you. They're like, well, you can't get coochie from somewhere else. I just came out here to live a lifestyle. What? Well, hold on. Why are you coming out here to live a lifestyle? I've been trying to hit on you for the last 2 months. We've been taking our time, messing each other back and forth. I done pulled my meat all out on the video for you to see. So you knew I was looking to clap them cheeks. But yet you get all the way out here, and now you talking about you ain't giving me no buns? How the fuck that happened? It happened because he realized he been finessed, woke up in the morning, blue balls everywhere. Motherfucker's name is straight up Bobby Blue Balls. You know, like Bobby Blue Bland? Bobby Blue Balls. It's not gonna happen. And then you wonder why motherfuckers be acting crazy. So I know you're saying to yourself, but this is a script. This ain't real. You went through all of that and this ain't real. I'm going to show you what's real here just in a second. But just relax yourself, because I always like to tell you real shit. Let me educate you a little bit of who I am. Not only was I raised by the greats when it came to musical taste, I learned how to not be a rest haven, and I ain't gonna never get no motherfucking blue balls. How do you know this? Oh, you lying. You lying. Every guy's got blue balls. But let me share with you a little bit of who I am, just so you know I'm not no motherfucking rest haven, and my name is never gonna be Bobby Blue Balls. So I'm in New York City, right? I'm dating this white girl, and this was after I broke up with my son's mom, right? So I had to be like late 20s or something. I meet this white girl, and she was nice. She was nice. I can't really say anything bad about her, but she was nice. But she tried to pull this type of bullshit on me. We ended up linking up. We had been talking probably for about 3 days or something, and she mentioned that there was this event going on in Dumbo. Dumbo's are like a area like in like downtown Brooklyn. Like as soon as you come across the bridge, you got like a nice little area over there in Dumbo. And in Dumbo, they had this thing called Photoville, where they were up here taking pictures, all types of pictures, like Polaroid style pictures. It's like a fucking outdoor museum or an outdoor exhibit of photos. Now, I show up to the event and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What type of weirdo shit she got me involved in? But I ended up having a good time, and I really appreciate the fact that she took time to plan this date out, and it was something original. So I gave her credit. Now, going back to baseball a little bit. At the end of that date, I think I got to first base, because I don't remember getting, deep with it, but I think it was like first base. So we kind of pet kissing, it's like still broad daylight outside or whatever. And I make my way back to the city. It was a great night, great date, real good energy. So fast forward about like 2 days later, Shorty hits me up and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Yo, I just got off of work. I'm on my way back downtown to go home." She's like, "All right, I was just like seeing if you wanted to do anything." And I was like, "Oh, what you talking about?" She was like, "Well, if you're hungry, you could come over and then, I'll get us some dinner or something like that." I'm like, "Oh, for sure." And she's like, "Yeah, we can watch a movie." You know where I'm going with this one when they start talking about this watching a movie bullshit. So I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'm on my way over there. Just let me drop my bags off, take a little bit of a shower, and I'm gonna hop on a train and I'll be over there probably like 20 minutes because this girl, she had lived like right there, like where Grand Army Plaza is, like right there by like Prospect Park and stuff, if you're familiar with the area. And I've shown parts of this in other like story times that I've done on the Reddit side. But if you're familiar with the area, it's like that beginning part of like Grand Army Plaza where like Eastern Parkway is right there and shit. So she lived in one of those buildings right there. I ended up going into her apartment and, she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna order some Thai food. What do you think you want?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me just get some pad Thai or something like that. Keeping it rather simple. They bring the food over and then all of a sudden, I don't know how the fuck we got to her bed, but keep in mind, these New York City apartments are very small. Like these girls be having an apartment that you think is in a nice building, but it's more like a studio or like a fucking efficiency, real small place. So it comes time to, so we ended up on her bed and we're watching a movie, So we laying there on the bed and, it's time to resume playing baseball. So you already know I've already made it to first base. So now I'm trying to test where I can go, get my Ricky Henderson on, trying to see if I can get over there to second. Do I need to steal it? How am I do it? But still, that probably sounds bad. But, finesse my way to get to second base. But none of that was really necessary because she wanted it. But let me tell you what the chick did. I'm going to second base because she gave me the option. We sitting up there speaking French. I'm like playing her hair. I got her neck going and shit. And, I kind of made my way south a little bit, try to snap that bra, see what it do, right? So snap the bra a little bit, kind of put my hand over there. But, as I'm still speaking French with a lip lock and doing what we do to get her all excited and shit, what do I try to do? So now that I done passed second base and the vibe is right, let me see if I can make my hand further south, trying to go for third base out this motherfucker, right? Just imagine that. Like you all the way down the state of Texas, you at the bottom of Texas, and you just want to make it into Mexico. And all of a sudden you find out that there's a wall there. And she's like, I just don't want to do this, and let me just tell you, I'm a good girl and, I really like you. We've been hanging out, but I just don't want you to think I'm that type of girl. Excuse me? Excuse me? So, as she's saying this, right? I don't know what possessed this bitch to say this, but she said, you know, you have an option here, and I really want to get to know you, but I just don't want to move too fast. So, I really want you to stay, but if you're not cool with that, you can leave and I'll understand. Try to put me in this double bind communication bullshit. I'm like, girl, please. So I sat there very calmly, thought about my options. I looked over at that watch and I decided that I had already been there for 2 hours. You gotta think about it. I went to work, so came home, took a shower, that came over her place, and it's definitely her body. I'm just trying to, touch it, feel on it, have some fun with it. But she made her decision. She said no, she wasn't ready to take it that far. But see, my time limit had expired. It was already 9 o'clock, damn near, when I got over there. So at this moment, she said that my rest haven clock said, buddy, it's time to go. So I look over at my watch and it's actually like 11 o'clock. I got a decision to make. I can stay here and try to play that game like most guys would play to see if they could just get lucky if it reaches 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. But I ain't sitting up here waiting for some booty at night. So I look up at that watch and I say, oh shit, it's 11 o'clock. I got options. I could either take the Q train right here at Park Place, make it back to the city hella fast, or if I needed to go take the 2, 3, 4, 5 and back on the block in 20 minutes. If I'm sitting up here playing this game, if I'm going to get some booty at night, end up on some Bobby Blue Ball shit, have to go home and take 3 fucking cold showers, and I leave at like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm about to take a taxi. I'm going to have to take a taxi or Uber back to the city. So just know your boy ain't built like that, because I got on that fucking Q train and she was like, Now, I wasn't trying to be mean to the woman because, like I said, she put together a great first date. But that teasing bullshit ain't going to work on some dudes.
Nigga, come on.
Yes, I flew you out for the coach.
It's cool. It's cool. You're lame.
I flew you out for the coach.
You're lame, and I will never talk to you again.
All right, well, you ain't got to talk to me again. I'm just letting
Nigga,
you know.
just get me there.
All right, well,
Who's she talking to?
Hey, y'all about to drop her ass off.
Yeah, drop me.
I would have dropped her ass off right there. She want to be disrespectful.
Me off, nigga.
Y'all ever see her out? Don't fly her out.
Drop me off, nigga. Don't worry about it.
Man,
don't worry about it.
You dumb. Don't trip. You dumb. You getting dropped off.
I don't care, nigga.
Watch
See,
out.
how many times has she used that word?
The fuck?
That shit kind of. I'm just saying that shit.
No, you're lame.
No, I'm saying
You're really lame.
No, I'm saying what you did was lame.
What was lame?
What you did.
Because I don't want to give. Because I don't want to give up my coochie.
He on the phone.
So, when did she decide she didn't want to give up her coochie to this guy? So, what do you think happened? That she was just feeling this man the whole time she got back to his place, all the way out here in LA? They didn't finish watching the movie or listening to the music, doing whatever, and then she suddenly just dried up like this damn Sahara Desert? Or did she know the whole time she wasn't feeling that man anyway? And I'm going to show you a little bit more of that. But let me get to my second favorite part of this video.
Nigga, you're weird.
Information about catching your flight. I catch your flight. Buy your own ticket. You make sure you want them cheeks. No. It's so bad. I ain't even get your bag here. Your bag right there.
I came here with nothing.
Cool. Go. I'm dead serious. You didn't want to give me no cheeks? You got a deal.
Nigga, you're lame as fuck. Because you can't get no coochie.
I'm saying you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm not paying for your ticket. I'm not paying for none of that shit.
I don't care about none of that shit. You're lame as fuck.
Hey.
You can't get no pussy.
All right. Buy your own ticket. Buy your own ticket. Buy your own ticket. She got buy your own ticket now. Fly yourself out. You pull her ass out and she won't give me no cheeks.
Are you fucking serious? I'm telling you, I don't care if this was a skit. I wanted to be able to share it with you guys, But the two funniest moments is when she's sitting up there doing the chicken head pose, where they just do something crazy and they drop their neck down, then they suddenly raise it up and act like their eyelashes weigh 15 pounds a piece. But then also at the end, you cannot tell me that this person's a part of this. This man just happened to say, yo, I had to take her back, man, because she didn't give me no cheeks. And then look at this woman's fucking face. You can't make this shit up, but it was pretty good. Now moving on, because I know somebody's gonna say to themselves, hey, oh my god, you just went through all of that shit for a skit. That shit wasn't real. I just think you put too much time and energy into that. You're overreacting. Hold that thought. You thought, oh man, don't overreact to that, man. That was just a skit. Dudes are really going through this shit out here. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of these women keep playing, they gonna run into the wrong type of dude. They're not gonna run into dudes like us who are listening to this content so we can help them to save themselves. Now we know that they're not gonna listen to us because they hard head tack heads. And one thing we know about hard heads, but what do we know about these hard-headed women? Is that a hard head usually makes a soft ass. What that means is these women are going to catch the wrong type of dude out here that can really do damage to them when they keep acting like it's all good to abuse and take advantage of men, and no men are trying to get with them. But they're going to sit up here and try to have that man spend his money on them. And then that man can't expect anything. Let's get further into this. Fair use on this content, we definitely got to say that when you deal with these people.
Mom, Shorty got me all the way up. So let me explain to y'all. Let me explain to y'all the story. I flew this way from Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Been talking to her on Instagram for months.
Talking to this bitch on Instagram for months. Flew this woman in from Indiana. What does that tell you? She lives in a more suburban or rural place than this man lives in. This man more than likely lives in a metropolitan city. Stop flying these bitches to metropolitan cities. Their asses are going to get there anyway. Don't let it be on your dime.
You feel me? I done spent damn near 5 G's on this. She talking about she don't want nobody touch her. Man, you got me up. You mean, well, you can leave. First of all, hold on. Man, first she talking about she don't even fly Spirit, right? Talking about she don't fly Spirit. No. Okay, so I get her Delta. That's damn near 600-700 last minute, right? Okay.
Notice how she just said, okay. A lot of these bitches don't care about anything. They act like money just grows on trees because for them, especially if they're attractive, it really does. We all know that, right? But look at how she's trying to take advantage of this man. Now, did he jump out the window and do something stupid? Yes, he did. And a lot of you have jumped out the window doing stupid shit that you might not have known. But I'm going to explain that as I go on. But notice how she's like, and what? This man already dedicated hella months on IG talking to this tackhead. Also, he didn't spend 5 G's on this tackhead. Then the tackhead gets right there after the man that flew her in on Spirit. Oh, my bad. He did upgraded her to a Delta flight. She gets there knowing that this man has romantic interest in her and has the nerve to last minute say, and that's the type of shit you are dealing with these bitches.
So plus her bags, check-in, all that shit. We go get her the Uber, all that shit. Then I'm damn near at 2 G's already. So we get here. First night, I'm being a whole gentleman.
Nice guys finish last. That's what this man just learned. And this man's icy. So we're not talking about dudes who are broke. So you can see that this man got money. We're not talking about some dude who was broke spending his last little bit on flying a chick out, which would definitely be stupid. This man got money, flew this chick out here. She knew that this man had money just to albeit to finesse him. That's all she was trying to do. But he's sitting out here being a gentleman. When he got money, ain't no way in hell I would have left this dusty ass bitch back in Gary, Indiana, because I know she from Gary. because she's trashy. Now, shout out to anybody who might be listening that might be from Gary. I'm just playing. I don't mean no harm with you.
Have I not been a gentleman to you, though? Have I not done anything? But you should have known what it was if I flew you out here, though.
I don't want.
Why come out here then?
What do you mean?
So, y'all, this is the Instagram model. You know what? I ain't gonna be no petty ass. Put your name on there like that.
Because you're recording me.
Okay, so why would you come halfway across the country knowing you don't want to on like
you though?
I ain't say you did. You know what it was though. You know what it was.
You want to spend money.
Oh my God. This is the part of the video you have been waiting for. So she knew that this man had interest in her. She didn't care because she was like, and that don't mean I have to give you my body, which she is absolutely right on. I am not saying anything different of that. But why dangle that carrot, the illusion of sex, using sex as a weapon to be able to take advantage of you? That's how nasty and trifling these bitches are. A real woman would not do this. But notice her attitude as she can sit up there after you just spent time, money, energy, everything into this bitch over the last 3 months, and her to just sit back so calmly and say, I don't owe you shit. And that's what you dealing with out here. But I bet there's a thing that you guys didn't know. Let me fill you in on this. Now, if you just want to watch the video, you can find this video on WorldStar, but I have to be able to break it up just due to fair use purposes. A lot of you guys have probably never even thought about this, but a lot of these women that you guys are flying out that are not giving you any cheeks, that are taking advantage of you, that use the same exact wording that woman just used, where she responded when that man asked her, so why did you even come out here then? She said, I thought you just wanted to spend money. You know who talks like that? These type of bum bitches. What do I mean by that? What women do you think I'm talking about? I happen to live in the city of Atlanta, gents. And in the city of Atlanta, aka the city of finessing, where the hell these bitches getting flown out from? Atlanta. Why? Yeah, I live in that city. But the one thing that pops in this particular city is them shaking their ass late at night for a little bit of dollars. And in Atlanta, we know about the strip club scene. And in these fucking strip clubs, you would be amazed at what you see. And I love understanding women. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm able to talk to women in a certain kind of way to where they let me know a lot of information. For instance, have you ever thought to yourself that a lot of the women that you guys are flying out actually don't like men at all? These are Starburst Society girls. They don't even like men. They don't at all. They just want to be able to take advantage of you. They have no plans of giving you any type of pussy because they like pussy themselves. How do you know that? Let me tell you. So I was in one of these strip clubs probably about, maybe about 3 months ago. It's a black one. It's not one of the famous ones that you guys go to, probably. But it's a rather known one on the South Side. Now, in this particular adult entertainment establishment, I happened to see that this girl was dancing on this black man, but she was dancing in a way that I thought was awkward. Meaning that the man had called her over to him. She's up there smiling in his face, acting like she happy and all of that. But she's dancing once she got the money, like 3 feet away from this guy. Now, I'm not saying that she got to be dancing all up on his Johnson, because if she was interested in that man or she gave that man some kind of woo factor, she had some kind of tact of being able to kind of get more money out of this man, she would dance a little bit closer to him. But she doesn't do that. She dances further away from him. So all of a sudden, I see the woman pass that guy And then she kind of walking in front of me, right? And I was just so curious as to what the fuck I just saw, right? So she walked past me. I grabbed her arm and I was like, hey, I want to be able to talk to you. Come in. So she comes over here to talk to me. So she comes over there to talk to me. And I was like, yo, I see you working with a lot, but I don't know what's up with your style of dancing. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you kind of dancing hella far away from that dude. I know if I'm dancing with you, shit, I gotta be a little bit closer. She was like, no, it's just that some of these N-words just think that you're supposed to be dancing all up over them and dancing all up on them. And I'm not even like that. I got a girlfriend at home. I just come here to what did she say? To make money and to spend money. Same type of talking point. So that girl in that particular instance just fucked up. She let me know that she was in the strip club taking money away from men, and she didn't even like these motherfucking men at all because she'd rather be in IKEA buying fucking carpets. Now, I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody. That's not what we do on this channel, but I will point out the obvious. So a lot of the women that you guys are flying out, especially if they're Generation Z women, and unfortunately, I have to say this, a lot of these black women are so damaged to where they have had girl experiences, some of them full-time like girls. And me, as an older black male, and probably as a lot of you guys as older black males, you did not grow up in these eras. You grew up with women being strictly dealy. I don't want to say that word, strictly dealy. But a lot of these women who finesse you are only interested in going to IKEA buying fucking carpets. And what talking points do they have? When they know that you're interested in them, they will flip it around on you and say, no, I just thought you wanted to have a good time. I just thought you wanted to spend money. Think about it.
I spent 5 G's on you. What are you talking about? 5 G's. What you talking about? So look, she didn't get. Hold on, let me talk. Shut up. Then we about to go eat, right? So Shawty told me she hungry. So Shawty, call him. Pack all this shit. I'll help you leave. Pack all this bump up. Pack all this shit. Pack all that shit up. It's not even about the. It's not even about. It's really about the money.
Talking about how she hurt his ego, talking about he got a hurt ego. You damn right he got a hurt ego. And he got a hurt ego because he mainly did this to himself. There is no way we can get past that. But it goes to show you that these women are so comfortable taking advantage of you, giving you that little illusion that you're going to get lucky. And luck ain't nowhere in your goddamn sight. It's not. That man spent 5 G's on this woman. You know what this man could have done else with 5 G's? That man could have started a business. Now, I know some of you guys aren't going to like this, but with that 5 G's, you know what he could have done? He could have got on a plane, went to go join the fucking passport bros in one of them countries, had a hell of a time, and came back and noticed he still got $2,500 in his damn pocket. Just a little bit of humor.
About nothing, you feel me? Ain't about nothing. So listen, we get off the fight. Let me tell the story. We get off the fight. Somebody, we went back to the room. She like, I'm hungry. I'm all right. Well, let's go to a little restaurant or something. I'm trying to get her something to eat. She like, oh, no, I only eat the best. I want some crab legs. That's another. So we go to the restaurant. I spent damn near ordering.
So I love crab legs. That's what these bitches do. All right. Okay. A lot of these girls who try to maintain slim bodies, or maybe they have somewhat of plastic parts, right? They got to be able to maintain that shit. So they always going to say the most lavish shit anytime they're in the presence of a man who has the means. So she might not even be hungry for crab legs. And more than likely, if her dusty ass was back in Gary, Indiana, you think she eating crab legs? That bitch sitting up there eating McDonald's. But all of a sudden, because she's in front of you, and you got the money, she's all of a sudden, I want crab legs. Unfucking believable.
Hey, motherfucking crab legs. I'm buying all that shit though. Being a pure gentleman. You know what I'm saying? Being a real. So I spent damn near 5 G's on this already. You can leave.
Is this Bando Kev? I'm sorry. He sounded a lot like Bando Kev. I hope this is not Bando Kev, because if this is Bando Kev, then I know that this is a motherfucking skit. But I'm just saying to myself, he sounds a lot like Bando Kev. Let's just hope it's not Bando Kev. But this Finesser is sitting up here saying, and what? The whole time. Like, she don't even give a shit. It don't even matter to her.
You can go. Yes, I'll help you. Pack this shit up. You can get the all out. Get all your shit. Like all it. It's already packed. Yes. Tell him how much money I spent though. Tell him how much money I spent. I can get some. It ain't enough for me to call. I got another coming through. I got another coming through. So you can leave. You can get the out. Get your shit. Get your shit. Been here 2 days.
2 freaking days. So 2 days. She knew she was not going to get that man any poom poom. She could have left 4 hours in. She could have left 12 hours in. She could have left 24 hours in. But all of a sudden, what does she do? She wants to stretch it out to 48 hours. How long can you rest, Have?
Days talking about, I don't want nobody touching me. Ain't on her period, none of that. Shoes on. I ain't on her period, nothing. What you do? You gonna whip me? She gonna beat me up? Please, come on now, get your goofy ass out of here. You got me all the way up. All right. Like, you better chill. Like, you know, I don't really get on your ass for that. Can you get the out? Can you get the out? Can you get the? I can get my way any day, baby. That money, nothing, baby. I hope that 5Gs was worth it. Wait, man, you look out and put your Instagram on here, y'all. If we keep talking, I'm gonna tell everybody what your Instagram is. Yes, please leave. Get the out. Bye. 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 Why are you recording? Bye.
See, you should be exposing these bitches. You literally should be exposing these bitches. But I think that, you know, kind of violates something like doxing and shit. But like, you should be able to expose them. You really should, because other dudes will get finessed. How do I know this? You see how she's walking out the door? She's on the phone. Who the fuck do you think she's talking to? Probably some other simp. Don't let you be that guy. And that's the reason why I'm bringing you this compilation of videos that we walk through here today, to show you guys that a lot of these women that you are out here with, A, they don't like you. B, they're trying to finesse you. And C, they will run you into the ground and take advantage of you every single time and have no plans on even getting with you. In closing, fellas, don't go out there being no Bobby Blue Balls motherfucker, because anytime a woman does that to you, she's being evil. You start to lose it because you realize you have no more time for being a rest haven, and you damn sure don't want to be a Bobby Blue Balls motherfucker. Now, fellas, before I get out of here, let me just say this. I really appreciate all the love we have on this channel. And if you enjoyed the video, I really would ask you guys to do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button, but also feel free to share this video with other people to be able to spread the knowledge. And if you enjoyed the video, just let me know down there in the comments how you guys would handle situations just like this. And with that being said, I'm out, fellas. Choose wisely.